Welcome to day 17 of the Mindfulness Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about self-compassion. So, a lot of us find it easy to have compassion for others. When we see someone struggling and we really have an open heart space for someone, we can be compassionate towards that person, right? But what happens for ourselves is we're not so compassionate to ourselves, especially if you have an ego that is more prone to self-criticize. That ego's in the background saying, you're not good enough, you can't do that, you're too stupid, or you are too ugly, or you are too anything that's negative, right? And that negative thought pattern through mindfulness can be caught. And we can say, okay, we're not going to think those negative thought patterns anymore. We're going to observe them and we're going to let them pass through us. But one of the things that we also need to learn through mindfulness is having a mentality of self-compassion. And I've seen this personally with myself as well as friends where, you understand these concepts and you understand that there are negative thought patterns and you don't feel the compassion for yourself. You're frustrated with yourself and you're saying, I should know these things. Why is this mind still driving me crazy, right? And at some point, you have to be able to take a step back and say, it's okay. And really look at yourself as a child, as you would a child, right? And be compassionate towards that child, because it's all just a part of our human nature to kind of go through these torments within ourselves where we're not quite understanding, why are we criticizing ourselves? And why can't we maintain control of our thoughts? Why do we feel this way? And being accepting of the fact that you feel a certain way or that you're having these certain thoughts and letting them go and not resisting them, you also have to have compassion for yourself and love yourself, because at the end of the day, we are all evolving human beings and we have to accept our imperfections, and we have to accept that having shame for ourselves is not a way to live, right? No one's ever going to be perfect. And we should embrace our imperfections. We should give ourselves grace. We should be more self-compassionate. And if you're a more self-compassionate person, you're just going to take better care of yourself. You're going to feel more love in your heart towards yourself. And only when we truly love ourselves is when we can actually help other people. And that also goes in line with, being authentic as well. Not being afraid to be who you are and loving who you are at the core. Loving you with all your imperfections, because no one is perfect, people. And being compassionate towards yourself and being non-judgmental towards yourself. So for any of those of you that have, been through this process and, you recognize what you have done wrong, where you have, maybe not been able to let go of emotions, or you haven't been able to let go of negative thought patterns, give yourself some grace. Give yourself some self-love. There are things that I do on a daily basis to exercise self-love. I try to take care of my body, drink plenty of water, eat as many raw foods as I can, exercise, do yoga, meditations, Tai Chi. There's all these different things that I do to show myself that I love myself. And when situations come up and I'm kind of challenged to be authentic, I'm authentic. And I try to be the best that I can be. And sometimes, maybe I don't exercise. Maybe I don't eat the right foods. Maybe I, gorge on a hamburger and French fries, and I don't exercise for a day or so. And my mind is a wreck, right? That is the point where I have to say, okay, you have to give yourself some grace. You have to give yourself some love and be compassionate towards yourself, as if I was the little Krista, the little child, and be understanding. And we also can practice this for others, right? There are people in our lives, especially those that are very close to us, that sometimes we may become frustrated in relationships where we expect certain things from people to our expectations, and the person's just not giving us that. And we have to realize that every person is a unique person. Every person has their own life experience, their own beliefs, and we could never